What's up everybody? Welcome back to Garage Gym Gains. As you can probably tell, we are not in the garage, we're actually in the office. So today we're going to be hopping online, and I thought this video would be fun to do, but we're going to be looking at the 13 things I want from Titan Fitness. So first things first, we're gonna look at the Titan Fitness fan bike. Now I've already done a video over this. It looks like they've adjusted the pre-order estimated ship date to February 15th. So that's actually coming up. It's about a month away. I've talked about the fan bike already, but it's $629.99. You're gonna save about $150 over the Aerosol the configuration in the Aerosol that you would need to get the closest to matching this one. The difference being big beefy tires, which I don't think you can get on the Assault bike, but you can get those on the Echo bike. And it also has a windscreen. We'll pull it through here. There it is. It has a windscreen that's about $40 on the Assault bike. So you're gonna have a really good value. And the thing that I like most is honestly the way that it looks and the value. So I'm a big sucker for red and black. This has quite a bit of red and black on it, which I absolutely love. So the first thing I want to check out is Titan's fan bike. I think it's going to be a pretty good value overall. Next up, we have the seated leg curl and extension machine. I haven't looked into this too much. It's back ordered. Looks to be shipping February 26th. So this is going to kind of be a first look for me. $469, not terrible on the price, not extremely good either. It's pretty straightforward. You have a leg extension. Let's see if I can make that bigger. No, that's too bad. I can't make it bigger. I'll zoom in though. So you have the leg extension as well as the leg curl. You're going to be able to adjust where you have the components. Looks like it's a pretty simple device. The thing I like about this is overall it's going to save quite a bit of space compared to having a separate leg extension and leg curl, and it's also rather affordable at $469 for the combination. I think that's a pretty good price, but hey, who am I to judge? Next up, also back ordered. Hopefully some of this stuff is in stock. I'm going to link everything down below so you can check it out for yourself and get something if you want it. Functional trainer is going to be $1,999.99. They probably could have made that in even $2,000, but hey, either way, I think this looks like a really cool piece. I've heard really good things about it. It's pretty straightforward. It's going to be like most functional trainers out there, really designed to go either on a wall or the corner of a room. You have some storage in the middle that you can put your attachments on, and then you have the independent weight stacks, as well as the cables that can go up and down. You also have pull-ups up at the top, which is a nice touch. Overall product weighs 672 pounds, so it's pretty sturdy. Obviously, that's going to include the weight stack itself. Looks like the individual weight stacks go up to 200 pounds. If you can tell, that's kind of cool. They did a color coding on there. So the green is the lightweights, then it works into yellow and then into red for the heavyweights, just so you know kind of what you got going on. We've got more storage at the bottom. Looks like it does come with some attachments, which is a huge plus. They didn't have to do that, but they are, so I appreciate that. That thing looks pretty cool as well. It does have some reviews on there, again, set to ship on March 11th. Next up, we have the plate-loaded fly machine. It looks like you're able to do rear delts as well. Pretty straightforward on this one. It's a chest fly, a seated chest fly that you're going to be able to use with plates. So I'm not typically a huge fan of plate-loaded machines, but I thought this one was pretty cool. And again, a fairly affordable price for a product like this, $474. We'll check it out together here. Adjustable seat, as you would imagine. It's riding on a square post, so that's probably not quite as smooth as a round guide rod, but overall, looks like a pretty cool piece. Obviously, I don't have room for that myself, but if you did have the extra room and you wanted another option for training your chest or your rear delts, and you didn't want to get some type of functional trainer or cable machine, this would be a really good option for you. I'd like to try it out. I'm not going to buy it, but it would be cool. Next up, this is kind of a newer piece. This one actually is in stock. It is the competition bench and squat rack combo with the bench included. Now, this is going to be very similar to a competition setup. I don't know if it's to ISF or IPF specs or what have you, but newer piece. It looks pretty cool. They have the rolling cups on there. You can adjust the height real easily. That's one of the benefits of these. The bench comes in and out, obviously, so that you can squat inside of it. It doesn't appear to be incredibly heavy duty, but it looks like it's plenty heavy duty enough to get the job done. This would be really good for somebody that either doesn't want the full squat rack or they already have the full squat rack. Obviously, the benefit of going with a squat rack, which we do have one lined up in one of the tabs, I believe, so we'll check that out in a moment, but benefit of a squat rack is you're gonna be able to put a whole bunch of different attachments on there, whether it's the dip attachment like the Mutant Metals that I've been talking about for all of last week. You can do different types of J-cups, different types of safeties, all kinds of things that you can put on there, lever arms, that sort of thing. You're not going to be able to do that with a competition style, but a lot of people like the competition style. I think it's cool. It's pretty versatile, and yeah, I would like to check that out. Again, it is in stock, which is pretty cool. I'll link it down below. Next up, we have a plate-loaded hip abductor and adductor. Again, not necessarily something that I would want in my single car garage gym, but I am interested in trying it because I've never seen a plate-loaded version of one of these. $749, it is going to be on the more expensive end for something like this, but honestly, it looks pretty sweet. Again, like I said, it's plate loaded, so you don't have the weight stack or anything like that. That is going to make it a little more cost effective, and it's going to be lighter, so I suppose it's easier to move around, but I thought that was pretty cool. Again, I think it's a pretty new machine. Let's see if I can figure out how to run my computer here. Oh my goodness, must be my first time, but I think it looks pretty cool. Again, I'd never seen anything like it, so I figured I'd put it on here. Next up, T-bar row. I have not tried Titan Fitness T-bar row. It has a whopping 1 review with 5 stars, so take it with what you will. I think it looks pretty legit. Obviously, you have the diamond plated foot spots or foot stands there. Again, plate loaded. Looks like you have a couple different grip styles. You can either go with a neutral grip inside, which I really like, or a wider grip. That's nice that you have the option. Overall, it looks like a pretty solid piece. Again, $489, not terrible on the pricing. One of the things that I miss out on the most in the garage gym is different machines to train back with. Obviously, I can do pull downs. I can do single arm rows with the reverse hyper, and obviously dumbbell and barbell and all that stuff. But it would be nice to have another back option. Again, don't have room for it, but it is something that I would like to try. This one is actually in stock, which is cool. Next up, we have a leverage squat machine. Now this is interesting because I actually had a machine that was pretty similar to this. I think it was PowerTech. I believe it was a PowerTech lever squat. Essentially, it was exactly the same thing. I'm looking for a difference and I can't see anything. It was literally this piece of equipment. It was just, had some different branding on it. But I really enjoyed it. I didn't get the chance to use it very often. I only had it in the garage for a couple weeks and then I sold it. I got into it pretty good when I bought out somebody's home gym, and then I flipped it to actually Darwin Thompson, which is pretty cool. But it is pretty cool. You can do squats on it as well as calf raises, and $549 for a piece of leg equipment I feel like is a pretty good price. So let's go through the rest of the pictures here. Yeah, it does have some plate storage on it, which is cool. These pegs on the bottom there, you can just store the plates there when you're not using them. So if you wanted to, you could actually free up some space that way as well. out of stock, but you can click to notify when it's back in stock. Not sure how often it comes back in. This next one, the floor glute and hamstring developer. Unfortunately, this guy is out of stock as well, but I have used it and it's a fantastic piece. We have one of these at our gym in Manhattan, Kansas. I guess some of you might not know, so I guess this would be a good time to say. I actually manage a commercial gym and we are building our third location right now, but we do have a location in Manhattan, Kansas, sport training facility. Really cool. It's called The Foundation. Definitely check it out. But we have a floor, glute, and hamstring developer there, and I really enjoy it. I've only used it a handful of times, but it eats your hamstrings up, and that is definitely something that I could benefit from. So I have used this piece, but I think it is a really cool option. It does kind of have a fairly large footprint, but I guess this lady's doing some core on there. I suppose you could do that as well. But the main thing is going to be for your hamstrings. $259, I believe that's fairly affordable, but let's move on to the next one. Like I said, we're going to have a squat rack in here. This is Titan's answer for the Rogue Monster series and as well as the Rep PR 5000 series. It's all going to be pretty similar, 3x3 tubing with 1-inch holes. So on this one, I think we'll take a minute to spec one out and see what the overall price would be, because these are actually in stock, which is a little bit surprising. You can see the 1-inch oversized hardware. It's insanely big. Insanely. When I bought my RM4, I had to get a socket off Amazon because I could not find them in Home Depot, Walmart, anything like that. I suppose I could have checked Harbor Freight. I'd assume that's something they would have, but I just didn't want to run over there. Looks like it has the laser cut holes. It looks like they're going every 2, which is honestly plenty. Comes with the pegs. Honestly, it looks pretty similar to a Rogue RM4, but you're going to save a little bit of money. Speaking of which, let's spec one out real quick. If I were getting this, I would go with the 90-inch to get it inside the garage. I don't think 100 would fit. This will be easy. 42 is not available, so we're going to go with 36-inch depth. Right now I have 41 inches, I believe. I can't remember if it's 43 or 41. I believe it's 41. It's plenty of room. 30 I think would be a little bit tight. 36 is probably the sweet spot. Front cross member, let's go with the fat bar because we want to help our grip. We're going to go with the nameplate. Rep that Titan brand on there. We'll go with the rolling J cup. It's easy decisions because some of the stuff's not available. Oh, here we go. We're going to do the strap safeties because that's what I like. Brings it out to $1,074.99. And keep in mind, Titan Fitness does have free shipping, so that's actually kind of a fire deal. If I were in the market right now for a squat rack, that's what I would get. So I'm going to link that one down below. I'll link all these things, but if you're in the market for a squat rack, definitely check that one out. That's a pretty sweet deal. Everything I've seen on the Titan series power rack makes it seem pretty legit. Again, I haven't seen one in person, but they're reviewing extremely well. Next up, the leg press hack squat machine. So this is going to be the classic 2-in-1. It's going to be a leg press and a hack squat. Give you a little bit of an overlook here and then we'll dive into it. So it looks like there's a seat that just kind of goes, I'd assume it connects somehow. It's not just laying on top of the hack squat foot platform, but that's what you're looking at there. You got your safeties. Here it is set up in, well, actually, now that I think about it, you could probably leave the leg press pad on there and just put your feet on the outside of it. I'd assume it's removable, but I'm not sure. You can see the back pad there flips up, and that becomes the foot plate for the leg press. So overall, that's actually pretty cool. It is $1,054, so it wouldn't be the first thing that I got, but if I did have the room, honestly, it's probably something that I would check out. Looks like it reviews pretty well, and honestly, it's just a pretty cool space saver. Assuming you can take that off, which again, I don't know for sure, but I would assume you can. I'll save you the trouble, of watching me look through that. If you want to check it out, it is out of stock right now, but again, it is something I'd like to check out in the future. I'll link it down below, and you can check it out for yourself. Next up, the glute and hamstring HP&D combo. This thing is really pretty sweet. It's going to be a combination of a reverse hyper and a GHD. So I think that's pretty cool. Kind of wish I would have got this when I was getting my reverse hyper, just because it's a little more versatile. But again, it is also going to take up more space, which I don't have a lot of, as you all know. There it is, set up to be used as a reverse hyper. I suppose you could leave the weight on there still. Really, it just looks like you chopped a reverse hyper in half, or an HP&D in half, excuse me, and connected it to a GHD. I believe Rogue's version is called the Donkey Rays or something like that. Maybe I'm completely off. I don't have any experience with that one either. But this looks like a pretty versatile piece. A lot of people complain about a reverse hyper because it has a large footprint and you really can't do that much with it. So this could be some type of compromise. You could get a GHD and the reverse hyper all in one nice, neat package, and you'll save a little bit of money doing it as well. That one's at $6.99. Now the last thing that I want to check out on Titan Fitness, or from Titan Fitness for today, is the Yukon bar. Again, this is a bar that reviews fairly well. It's essentially a cheaper version of a Duffalo bar, coming in at $2.19. It is still going to be a fairly thick bar, and from what I've heard, has some pretty good knurling. Overall, that's a decent price for a specialty bar, especially compared to the alternatives. $2.19, free shipping, definitely not bad. Looks like it weighs 50 pounds, has a weight capacity of 2,000 pounds. There it is, sitting on some monolift attachments from Titan. So it's going to have some camber there. That's going to be good for a couple reasons. If you squat and you have shoulder issues, sometimes it's hard to get yourself into position. So because this is lower, it's going to put less stress on your shoulders, and it's also going to do a similar effect while you're benching. It just gives you a little bit of a different angle, and you can actually get more range of motion because the bar is going to come down further. So those are the 13 things that I want to check out on Titan Fitness's website. If you want to see any of them, click the links down below. I'll try to link everything that we looked at today. If you liked this video or found it helpful, give a thumbs up. Be sure to check out the podcast, Garage Gym Gains, on Spotify and Instagram as well. It's Garage Gym Gains with a Z, garage_gym_gains. But if you like this style of video, let me know in the comments down below, or let me know what you want me to take a look at in the future. I'd like to do some budget build outs and stuff like that on the computer here. The only issue is a lot of things are still out of stock, so it's not going to be super helpful in the right here and now, but it'd be more helpful for those down the road when hopefully things are back in stock. But until next time, I'll see you later. Oh, I was hitting, this is the remote I have for our lights in here, and I hit the off button for my outro, but the remote's off, so they didn't turn off, and now I'm stuck here explaining it, so good night. It was more clicks than I thought I had to do, but we'll see you later.